Okay, looks like we are now live. Let's just double check this. Just a moment. Good there. And let's check over here. Sorry, this is riveting. Just making sure. My dog's crying somewhere too. Be right back. Oh, come on now. There we go. Looking good here as well. Okay, let's get started with some weed and some Splatoon in just a moment. We have to pass out the customary dog treats first, get our bag started with our volcano. Then we'll do some Splatoon, get ourselves started. Oh, looks like all kinds of things are having some problems here. Chat interface is going down. My Twitch. Okay, looks like we're good. Joe, Brittany, welcome both to you both. So glad you both could join us. I think everything is now working. If anything seems like we're having problems, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to pass some dog treats out, and then we will get started with the stream here. Excuse me. Okay, very cool. All right, first bag of the day. Still working on our Space Keikos. Is that the name? I think so. And I will, for sure, remember to switch it over to actually to Splatoon the game before we officially get started. I have a history of messing that up, but I feel like I'm gonna nail it. I hope everyone out there is feeling well, having a good Tuesday. It was a real ringer of a Tuesday, both a dentist and a auto mechanic visit. You can tell that's just the thrilling, and cheap way to have a fun day is visit your dentist and your mechanic. What did I promise? I was going to switch it over to the actual stream here, which I have now done. Good for me. Okay. Before we get started with the actual Splatin, let's go look at the gear for sale. Did I forget how to do this? Why can't I go to the old gear store now? Well, that's curious. Let's see what happens if we go into a battle. And then maybe we can get back out to the lobby system where we can buy some cool new threads. Well, we did a stream last night, and I demolished my win streak record. We won 10 in a row last night. I'd be happy. I'd be happy with a 3 in a row win. That doesn't seem that greedy after 10. I streamed twice yesterday. The first time I streamed was pretty much the inverse of that one, though. There were nearly 10 losses. So, you know, all kinds of evens out in and ink. Oh, missed him with 3 bazooka shots. Oh shit. Bad. Carlos! Carlos asks if I've ever tried to fill my own carts with full spectrum hash oil. It's something I find myself doing a lot here in Illinois because the cart prices on carts there are insane. Ah, great question, Carlos. I have never done it. And you, in your question, identified the reason that I have not done it. It's because prices here are so cheap that there's no need for me to have to be so resourceful or industrious. And I feel bad for you guys living in Illinois or really anywhere else in the country other than the West Coast, where prices aren't as rock bottom as they are here. And you guys have to pay through the arm and the nose for the exact same things. But how does it work out for you, Carlos? Do you find it, the process tough? Do you find it rewarding? Do you enjoy it? Is it gross? Either way, I better shut up for at least a moment. Oh, butthole, oh, butthole. He's chasing me. Woo! Just barely. Well, that is a wonderful thing to see with 40 seconds left. Especially when it's not your team suffering the wipeout. He's making a break for it. The Color Black says, have you got a pet on you? I don't. Do you refer to a vape pen? Well, I have a nearly depleted one right here, a review I'm wrapping up as we speak, but there's not enough left in it to say that it has even a single hit. Just a very hot blast of moist air. But welcome to Color Black. Carlos says, in regards to the process, that it's not bad. The hash oil is great, but you get limited in which strains you can try. You were so right on all your points. Well, thanks, Carlos. I appreciate you saying that. And again, I hope that the prices come down for you guys there in Illinois. I'm guessing the rest of the country, especially in legal states, are just a lagging indicator of, or will be a lagging indicator for California. And that your prices are going to start to come down too. I've talked about a lot here on streams, but one of the very few things that has not been affected really by inflation. As a matter of fact, all of they're not really deflationary pressures. They're still market pressures that are causing the price of weed to go down. But weed is probably cheaper in the year 2022 than the year 2021, and that is probably cheaper than the year 2020. I'm not saying less has been spent on weed. More weed is definitely being purchased and consumed, but the unit cost of it is probably going down, actually, which is remarkable, especially right now. A lot of competition. And more than just competition, it's clear that we're also, in California, our cheap weed is probably being subsidized by billionaires or multi-millionaires in some way. There's a shit ton of rich investor money in weed in California, and everybody's trying to establish themselves as the dominant player in X, Y, or Z. So there are all racing to the bottom in terms of price to get market share. It's not too different, I assume, than, you know, what happened with things like Lyft and Uber, where they were subsidizing prices like crazy in the mid-teens. You could get your Uber to the airport for like $15. But now, of course, that same ride will cost you $100. I don't think it's going to be that true for weed because it's thing that's making things like Uber expensive are labor costs, and that's not as much of a factor for weed. Definitely is to a degree, but I assume some of the reason weed is so cheap, though, is you've got a bunch of super rich assholes throwing a bunch of money so that their brand can be the brand that everybody thinks of going forward with weed. Which I'm always happy to take rich people's money, but you know, the downside is eventually you might have very expensive weed because there are fewer players, but weed is not transportation. So the same thing with Uber. Oh, I missed at point blank range. Oh, embarrassing. Oh, they got a vacuum gun. That's a dangerous, scary thing. It's killed me many a time. Created, which I think is okay. I think we are definitely beating them. I'll die for a die. Tamina, welcome back. Tamina says, I joined politics or whatever this talk is about. Okay, I have no clue what you're on about, but cool. Well, welcome, Tamina. We were talking about market forces affecting the price of weed. I wasn't trying to be overtly political, and I'm sorry if that's the case. But to be honest, I'm pretty high right now, and I was speculating on why weed is so much cheaper in California than it is in other places in the country, and which led me onto a tangent about subsidized prices in other markets, and wondering if those things might be eventually the course for weed. But then also, to be fair, I had this entire argument on stream here in my own head and out loud, realizing it's not the exact same because the same forces that allow you to capture a market like the taxi industry are not the same for weed, because anybody can grow weed. Not everybody can start a taxi business. I'm going to shut up now, though, and let's play some Splatoon. My dog is yelling at me. I'm going to try to ignore her. How are you doing, Tamia Sanders? I hope you're well. I hope your Splatoon journey is filled with success and the corpses of many, many, many cephalopod teenagers. Cannot believe I beat him there. Well, not going well for the orange team again. Or whatever color is the opposite color as me. Oh my god. So I mentioned this at the start of our stream. I won 10 in a row yesterday, which I know I'm now bragging about, but it was weird. it seems that the matchmaking has put me in a much lower class of player, which I am so cool with. To me, it's so bad people doing bad stuff, summarizing my conversation. That's not a bad way to put it. If you want to narrow it or boil it down, I think that's a totally fine summation. And maybe even a better job of the explanation of the problem I was trying to elucidate than I ever could have. And you did it in like 6 words. "24 flinching." Don't know if that was a good name. Oh, these poor squid goons are just getting camped in the face. That's no fun. I mean, I don't mind. Really, I'm glad it's not me, but I can empathize. 13 says, "Can you give us a hint on when your next review will be?" 13, thank you so much for asking. That's very kind of you. I don't want to give an official date, but I will even say that multiple of them are done. I just usually like to have at least a month's worth of stuff before I release things. So, and I have a month's worth of reviews shot, just not a month's worth edited yet. So when I can get them all edited, but hopefully very soon. I actually really hope to have them out last week, and which maybe is a indicator of how close I am, but I don't want to give any kind of official date because I'm bad at that. It's like my brain is addled with weed. Anyways, thank you for the question, though, 13, and I hope very, very soon. Riri, welcome back. Good to see you again. That was another win right there, right, guys? We got win number, and was that 3? We going for another win number 4 here. We need to do a bag after this, obviously. I gotta impair myself some more. Oh, somebody looked like they were joining. Tamia, are you in our game? Or was that somebody else? Well, that was boneheaded. Holy shit! I don't know how I keep getting on these great teams, man. I'm playing like ass, but the squad is out there rocking shit. I don't know what that guy was doing, man. He was just going head first into a corner. Back to my speculation that it's it's not bringing it's not bringing me the best. It's not matchmaking me with the esports champs here. Sorry, loading. That did not go the way you hoped. Oh, missed everybody there. Oh, that damn auto bomb! Another game at the other team's base. Just Amping away. I'm coming to you, Yaya. I hope y'all don't mind. Oh, that poor dude just crab tanked, I think, too. This is just brutal. It is. I do not know what has transpired between today and yesterday. Again, I think it's just, we're on some real generous matchmaking levels, which, happy to be here. Mia, I have no idea. I have somehow tapped into my inner squid potential. I promise you I'm going to try to dull my senses here with some marijuana. Get me back on my usual playing field. This isn't right to me. There's something going on here. And to me, if you'd like, let me see if I can join in with you. I'd be happy to join. Thank you for making a room. Look like you're using the dark something doolies. Two robot looking pistol-y ink guns. Is that what I'm seeing, Bridget? Good luck to us. Oh, man, this is far and away my worst map. I am awful on this one. Well, that was a dumb place to just stand still. All right, it was just a phase. It was just a temporary glitch in the Matrix. I'm back to my usual self, swimming headfirst into certain death, and not giving a shit about it. I'm back. I missed it. I missed it. It was that being good stuff. That just wasn't for me. Bridget, I do apologize, though. Oh my god! This is why I can also empathize with the teams in the 4 games that happened before this one, because I've been there many a game. We go back to the kind of teammates we were playing against before. Oh shit, I deserve that. Dark Tetradualies was the name. Wipeout, Riri. I'm sorry, man. It wasn't meant to last. It was a beautiful ride. I tasted greatness for a moment. The sweetness of skill. Just enough to know what it tastes like. Just a kiss of what it's like to have some Splatoon skill. And boy, was it kind of scary. I'm back to a 2-7 world. No more of this 10-3. No more of this 8-4. Give me these 2-7s. That's my register. Tamia, I'm sorry that I had to fall so far so quickly. But happy to be home. We aren't killing it anymore. What a beautiful way to describe that. We aren't killing it anymore. Who knows, though? Every game's a new game. 2 people on their team have, like, the very first little badge and nameplate you get, so maybe that's a good sign. Oh, get the missile, get the missile! Buttholes. Oh, we're doing okay now. I'm back. Well, spoke too soon. Still gone. Just doing some corners, filling in while I'm here, you know. You're gonna missile me all the way back here, dog? I'll take it. I know there's over here from above. Generally, Leviathans kill you from below, though. That's the nature of Leviathans. We got this blue team. Ooh, this is going to be close. Let's get our third bag while this is tabulated. Oh, I think we've got it. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Oh, man, less than 1%. Great, great game, though. Tamia Sanders / Bridget. If you didn't realize yet, Tamia in chat, Bridget in the game. Heartbreaker. So close. Excellent game, by the way. 6 kills, 6 splats, 1 death from Bridget / Tamia. Nicely done. And our turfer extraordinaire. Right. Well, where did I put my little mouthpiece? Here we go. Bag number 3. Damn, look at this dope homie named Furt here. That is a slick... Oh, buttholes. Tamia says that they're thinking of changing their name to a Splatoon name. They're thinking about changing their Splatoon name, their Splatoon handle, to a pun that they recently learned. And Tamia, would you like to share that pun with us? Oh, that seems more you done fucked up than normal. Really to get the actual, like, system error. Hopefully I can still join your room. Let's see what happens here. Not at the moment. I will use this as a chance while we're figuring things out, see if we get back in a room, to go ahead and pick up some fresh threads. The thing, I mean, I thought I knew a little bit about squid and octopus before this game, before I started playing Splatoon, and I knew some things, mostly just dumb little factoids, but I didn't understand a lot. But one of the biggest things that I just had no clue about is that both squid and octopi, and I had no clue, are both super into fashion. At species-wide, I think all of them, you know, in their thousands of different species of squid, I think, all of them are very sartorially inclined. It's curious. Didn't realize that. So don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't learn things from playing a video game, because that's an outright lie. I did not know that squids and octopuses liked to wear 2 shoes. Learned that from a video game. Somebody call the Georgia Aquarium, because this boy's a junior marine biologist. Damn, all these kicks is expensive, though. That's why I'm here in this problem. Well, these are a little bit cheaper, because I'd just be upgrading. But shit, those are expensive kickies. I guess I can just buy the dirt cheap stuff. An awe-inspiring advisor. There's a whole card battling game, like collectible card game within Splatoon. Have never tried it. There's a whole single player. Never done it. A whole hard mode. Never tried it. Just straight into that ink battle. Jamina does answer a question about the pun, and I'm sorry it took me so long to get to it. It says, the Japanese for octopus is taco. So I was going to try making my name Taco Tuesday or something similar. Taco Tuesday, the wonderful tradition across, I think it's a global one now that Mexican food is everywhere. Tuesdays, get your tacos cheaper. Being us here in Southern California, it's, more or less a weekly holiday. Great name. Love the Taco Tuesday. Perfect name for a Splatoon inkling. Holy shit, I need to get back into this game. Oh god, I hate accidentally going in here and talking to this guy. You get trapped. Alright, we're through. I was just here for the glasses, man. Leave the talking out of it. Wait, I have way too many clothes. There's a very beloved card game called, is it Takoyaki? That's about octopus balls. I only know that because it's in the Nintendo game collection Clubhouse games, and it's really dumb as a game, because there is no skill. My favorite game, though, in the Nintendo Clubhouse game collection, and I love it. If you've never played the Clubhouse game collection, it's Nintendo's published. It's like 30-something, maybe more. A collection of different card and board games from across the world in digital format for the Switch. They've been publishing them for a long time now, at least since the DS. And there are, again, a bunch of good and bad games in it. Everything from things like Othello to Takoyaki to my favorite, one that I'd never played before, and a game that I think of myself as just really skilled at, like very, very good at. And I don't mean to toot my own horn. I know how gross that sounds, but I really am very good at it. It's a game I never played, never tried before. It's in this Clubhouse collection. It's a card game. You can play it with just a standard deck of cards. And I know this doesn't sound great, but I've only played against like straight up experts ever, the best of the best. And I have a 50% win percentage. Like literally 50%. I've won it half the time I've played it. Now sometimes I go like 10 games with losing and then 10 games with winning. But I always come back around and get back to that 50%, which I'm very, very proud of. And that game, it's called, it has some weird title. It's called War, I think. It's a card game, as I said. You play with a standard deck of cards. And it's kind of complicated, but I'll try to explain it. It's played with two players. Both players have access to the same deck of cards, and both draw a card. And then keep it hidden, and then reveal it to each other at the same time. And whoever has the higher number of the two cards wins, and they get the point. And then you play until all the cards of the deck have been, been played. So you're going to play 26 hands of this, and at the end of the game, after 26 different rounds are played, you tabulate up who have won the most hands through hard-earned battle and skill, and that's the winner. And as I said, I won half of my games, which is insane because one, it's a very hard game, and two, I only play against the masters at this point. That guy was sliding. Well, and then I got sniped. War. Riri says he loves some War growing up. Everybody's first card game. It's like the monopoly of card games. You know, everybody's played it. Nobody really knows if they're, well, I was gonna say nobody really knows if there's skill involved, but with War there's certainly lots of skill involved. It's only skill. War is, people say chess is the game of pure strategy. Nuh-uh, dummies. Dumbasses must never played War before. That's strategy. It's not just strategy, it's tactics. I know that doesn't seem like the move of somebody who has a 50% win record in War, but you know, my War skills do not translate to Splatoon skills, unfortunately. I have no idea what the score is. Looked like we were doing okay, though. Riri, those floors do just disappear sometimes. And they should be ashamed of themselves for doing that. Pretty much, the only job a floor has... A floor really has one job, right? A floor is... You got one purpose, dog, and it's to be there when I need you. And that's 100% of the time. Like, it's not a tough job, floor, but you're really, your goal should just, you should always just be there. That's your job. And if a floor is fickle, that's not a floor I want to be associated with. When it comes to floors, I've got ceilings. And apparently a new cool hat. No, what was the, I should have said when I'm talking about floors, my expectations are at the roof. Oh God! I'm so sorry, Tamia Sanders. I was probably spending too long looking at my gear. I'll join you again on the next one. My bad. I am so sorry. I'm not sure. I must have been looking at my gear too long. My apologies. All these reach sliding mofos they got. There were two of them. I got real confused. I totally panicked. Trade, that's fine. I'm coming to you, Graham, but spelled obnoxiously. Gray-me. Get them to run. Almost there. DKW, all is great. Thanks for joining us again. Glad you can make it for another stream here. Hope all is well with you. And hopefully you're coming in for a nice victory. But we'll have to see. Oh. Well, I spoke too soon. This looks like a definite loss. Like, well, I got 2 of those sons of bitches. I got 3 of those sons of bitches. I got their whole team. I wiped them all out. I got them all. All 4 of them. I was like, nah, you're done. You're out. I don't think it mattered though. It didn't at all, but that was satisfying. I think that's the first time I wiped out the whole lot of them. You're done. I'm over. Your BS. Tobias says, if you want good splats, I heard intensify action helps a lot. Well, thank you for that advice. I certainly have a lot of gear that has that. So I'm going to hit stop here. That was a fun game, even though we lost. Dr. Smegma! Dr. SJ says, taking a big blinker of papaya punch off my plug play. You are so precise and strategic at this game. The way you bait him a bit before blasting him. You, sir, are a masturbator. That is so true. In high school, many people called that to me, to my face all the time. They said, hey, look at that kid over there. He's a real masturbator. Somebody call the cops. Stop him. What is he doing? And I was really just blowing him away with my oratory skills. But I speak a lot with my hands. So yes, in high school and to the police department of the East Tennessee community I grew up with, I am known as the masturbator. Oh my god. I forgot to do all the stuff I said I was going to do. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go take a dab, our first of the stream. We're going to say it's going to be for my messing up and booting myself from that last lobby and kicking Tamia Sanders, and also for Dr. SJ and his wonderful pun. I missed him, man. I honestly, genuinely missed him. Welcome back. And that's coming from me, the masturbator. Let's switch cameras, as I know how to do that, and I do that perfectly every single time. Let's get ourselves the first dab of the day, because we are almost done with our lava ice and everything nice. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Oh, thank you for the heads up, Tamia. She says go ahead and play a couple without her. I appreciate you playing with us and hanging in there with me, even though I was messing stuff up. BBD, welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you being here. I saw your comment, which in addition to you being here and just brightening things up, as always, you reminded me to switch back to the game, so double thank you, BBD. Let's hit that regular battle. And let's have this happen again. BBD, I think you were here yesterday for the run of Legend, the 10 in a row. The 1, 2, 3. I mean, I haven't been able to stop talking about it. And also somehow saying I'm not bragging. But it was, I mean, now I can say like a communication error has occurred. I can say that now. Well, let's give this another try. And thank you, BVD. It you know, it felt more than amazing. It felt divinely inspired. But that's a bit for another stream. I'm gonna go see Pearl tonight. Very excited. That is the surprise sequel, or at least surprise to me. I don't know how much people knew at the time. The surprise sequel to the excellent horror movie that came out just 6 months earlier. They were shot at the same time, called X, a 70s themed, very conscious Texas Chainsaw Massacre riff, but about a group of people trying to film a porno, basically in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house, essentially. Great throwback horror, wonderful, gross, just nasty villains, depraved ways of people getting killed, a crocodile, everything you could want in a trashy horror movie. Made by a man who knows how to make excellent trash, Ty West. And the villain of that movie, unbeknownst to most people at the time, it was always going to star in a prequel of that same movie. X, again, the villain of that movie. The villain, her name was Pearl. She was a very old lady in the movie X. A very old lady who was still very interested in doing adult activities. This prequel is about how she became the rather crazy person that she is in X, and it's supposed to be even better. If you like horror movies, and it is the season of horror movies, but let's say you're kind of squeamish. Oh, looks, we have somebody not. Oh, there he goes. Let's say you're a little squeamish around the gore. You don't like your horror movies gory. You don't like a lot of blood and guts. Totally understand that. I've got an excellent, though, Ty West recommendation for you. He has a movie called The Innkeepers, a bloodless, goreless horror movie, a quintessential slow burn too. So it's a movie that you have to have just a little bit of patience with, but it is an excellent haunted house, spooky horror movie, and not a drop of blood or not an ounce of viscera to be seen. Very traditional, in some senses, like haunted house movie. If you're looking for something to watch this Halloween, check out The Innkeepers. BBD's a fan of Mia Goth, the actress from who is Pearl and also from X. She had a lot of makeup on in X, a lot of makeup, and she does some. Woo! X is not like The Innkeepers. It is not a movie for the squeamish, nor the Ty West, the director. In some ways, that feels like he's making a commentary on it, but it is also the definitive villain of the movie. There is a very, very old lady doing a lot of very sexual acts in the movie, and the camera is not shy in the slightest about getting up real close on some wrinkles, some really unfortunately placed wrinkles. Mia Goth sells it though, man. She gives a hell of a performance. There's no way that could be her real. BVD is familiar with the Innkeepers. Oh, great! BVD, I'm so cool. That's so cool. Great movie. Glad somebody is familiar with it. Not a super well-known one. Dumb. Thank you, BBD. We're gonna need it. Dumb. Excellent bomb on his part, though. No hate. Homie straight up outplayed me. Oh, Lord. I am getting killed. Dropping that water. There's that floor who doesn't know when to do his effing job. But, ooh, it's close. This is still totally doable. Ooh, I hope it doesn't come across as sour grapes, but I do think this is actually the worst map that is in Splatoon, and maybe the only one that's like straight up poorly designed. You can easily get choke pointed right at the beginning there, right coming out of your like home base area. If the opposing team has the high point, you can just sit there. They have 2 or 3 guys, keep picking you off as you spawn. Although I think we ended up winning, but I do think this map, not great. Like, you can kind of see where I'm talking about. Right at the edge of those squares on both sides. It's very easy for one team to get there on either side of it and just hold it down, especially if they're even moderately better than the other team. Nicely done. Let's do our fourth bag here. We did win BBD. Thank you for the encouragement. Much appreciated. As it is Halloween time, maybe it's time to just throw out some more horror movie recommendations. Of course, now my mind's drawing a blank. But first, let's get a little bit. I got to get my head in the game. Can't let the team down. And we can talk some more horror movies after this game. We'll do a dab break, even. Nicely done, blue team. You guys hold them there. I'll clean up our base, get our corners here. That entire time, by the way, I've been playing. I don't think I said a word, but I've been thinking, it's like, oh, what are all the horror movies that I'm going to be recommending? And I've been basically editing some kind of list in my brain, but I don't think I said any of them. I've been in total Splatoon mode and forgetting to use my words. Nice. Well, hang in there, comm error. Oh, he's got some cannon missiles. That's gonna be nice and helpful. I hate those things. Nice. I think we got it. Turn it around there. Beautiful. Let's take that dab break as promised. And let's talk some horror movies. It is the season after all. Ooh, Tamia, I'm sorry. I think maybe you were coming back in. I'm going to take a quick break here, but I will be back and playing some more. I will hop into your game. I'll just join in then if that's okay, but I may be a few minutes before I get back. My bad. let's switch over here. Let's go over to the old dab machine, fire her up, and talk about those horror movies I've been pledging to talk about. Here are two, just off the top of my head, religious themed horror movies. Both of them very Catholic, incredibly Catholic. Both of them are excellent horror movies. One of them I don't like, but I'm going to recommend it anyways. And I don't like it, not because it isn't a good movie, but almost, this is coming from somebody who loves a good, grim, bleak, holy shit, I can't believe they went there type thing. This movie I'm about to talk about, it might just be too bleak for me, but it is good. Both of these movies, though, again, very Catholic horror movies. One is called Saint Maud, and it is more thriller than horror, but I think you could still classify it as a horror movie. It's about a girl who, if you're watching the Lord of the Rings show, is Galadriel, the main character in the Lord of the Rings show, played by Cate Blanchett in the movies Galadriel, the elf. She is the eponymous Saint Maud in Saint Maud, and she is a recent escapee or fleer, or she just got out of a cult and now has converted to Catholicism and is very, very, very into Catholicism, but is struggling in her life now that she is no longer in a cult and is in the real world, and it's about what this person goes through. It's called Saint Maud. Excellent, excellent movie. Let's do this dab. Enough talking. It's bigger than I thought. Woo. All right. Wow. Shit. Let's try not to cough. Let's switch back to our other stream. Tamia says, if we're talking horror movies, may I be the non-spooky Halloween recommendations? Always. Thank you. Any recommendations at any time. You need no permission. We love recommendations for things here on Wheats. Appreciate them, in fact. So lay them on us. And I will hop back into our... Hopefully. There you are. I can join that way. Cool beans. There we go. Oh my god, thank you for waiting. I feel very bad. Thank you, that's very kind of you to have waited that long. I feel very selfish. But yes, while you're coming up with that awesome list, or what I'm assuming will be an awesome list of non-scary Halloween movies, which is an exercise I like. I like that idea conceptually. Like, oh, what are good Halloween movies that are not actually scary, that involve the, season in some way, or the season or whatever. I like that idea. But I promised 2 horror movies in the meantime. I'm going to try to talk about the other one while I play. I'm sure to the detriment of it. My poor teammates. The other horror movie is called The Lodge. And I think it was from winter 2020, like right before the pandemic. It is about a family, dad and his 2 children, a son and daughter, and their dad's new young girlfriend, all going out for the good old cabin in the woods lodge here. And this time around, while the dad goes away to go take care of some business, and it's just the kids and the stepmom, brand new young stepmom together, the power goes out, they're in a blizzard, and weird stuff starts happening. It is a very, very, very scary. I mean, I found it terrifying at parts. I think underrated as a scary movie. And then I won't say more because saying more would reveal things that don't need to be revealed, even about structure of the movie. Do not watch if you don't like things that are bleak. Again, those movies I mentioned were Saint Maud and The Lodge. Both of them I think I've seen on Amazon Prime at different points. I'm not sure if they still are. But those are 2 excellent horror movies if you're in the mood to watch some creepy Catholic shit, but that may be redundant. Oh shit. Maybe that last dab was a bad idea. Dr. Chill! Welcome, Dr. Chill. Glad to see you. It was an embarrassing moment for you to hop in as I hopped off the map and into the drink. We might be 1 dab over the line, but that's okay. The universe, the law of large numbers still has to give me a nice knock to the chops, a bunch of losses in a row to make up for that wonderful 10 wins. I wonder what the average high streak is in Splatoon. 10 might not be that remarkable. I wonder, I have no idea, but I wonder what the average Splatoon player's record number of streak of victories in a row is. And, okay, so if it were just purely chance, what is 2 to the 10? It's only 1,024. So that is not that hard at all. Even if you were getting, totally random chance, if we were just up to a coin flip. If you played 1,024 games of Splatoon, you should assume to get a streak of 10 in a row. Now, of course, it's not random. It's not randomly distributed, but... And I have no idea how many Splatoon games I've played so far. I hope to fucking Ethan it's not over 1,000. Surely not. Well, Dr. Chill, thank you so much, man. That's so kind of you. Very much appreciate it from across the pond. Hope you are doing well. And I forgot to read chat last time around. I promise to do better after this match. Just too busy yammering on. and doing math badly. But I think you could actually probably figure out what the average number of victories in a streak is if you knew the average number of games people played. I think you could figure it out pretty quickly, because then you could assume everybody is average. And you know, I'm not qualified to talk about math when I haven't just done 2 dabs, so check your math. What are these exploits? Poor guy. I mean, I deserve to die for that, but in some ways, I'm coming to you, Bridget. Sorry for spamming that button over and over again. Goodbye, Yum Yum. So I want to go back, and I missed, I know, pretty sure Mia gave us / Bridget a list of Halloween movies that aren't scary. Let me scroll up. Yes, here we are. She says, here's her list of non-spooky Halloween movies. Nightmare Before Christmas, classic. She says it's beautiful if you like musicals. Or if you like musicals, it's great, and that it's a beautiful movie. Very true. There are so many people in the neighborhoods that I live in that have custom Nightmare. Maybe because a lot of people work at Disney who are close by to me. Maybe that's why. They have like custom Nightmare Before Christmas Halloween decorations on a massive scale in their yards. Several people. It's really impressive. So totally agree with you. And she mentions that of course you can watch it at both Christmas and Halloween. Appropriate for both seasons. If we could get any other movies, you know, to be cross-seasonal like that, let's get on it. Oh, butts. There we go again. Sorry about that. Not sure why it's being so fickle today. Let's see what happens here. Oh, well, I don't see Bridget right now. I'm going to go ahead and hop in on one. We'll figure it out in just a moment. But yes, great recommendation to Mia in Nightmare Before Christmas. If you haven't seen it, one of the coolest looking movies ever made. I don't think that's controversial. Wow. Don't think that's controversial to say one of the most beautifully designed, interesting looking movies ever. I saw somebody mention Coraline around there, which has that similar stop motion look. I did not know until recently Leica Studios is the people who did Coraline. They also did Kubo and Two Strings. And what else? Coraline. Oh, Paranorman is another one of theirs. They are all beautiful. They're all, I think Kubo and the best Two Strings or whatever strings is the best of them. But that dude who runs that studio, Laika, made Coraline, Kubo, Paranorman, all of that really impressive stop motion stuff. I mean, it is in a class of its own. That dude, who's like the director and I think in charge of the studios, is the son of the founder or president of Nike. So, you know, it's like, oh man, that kind of sucks when you hear something is like a nepotism. Well, it's like, oh, that guy got a leg up, but he is obviously so clearly, insanely, holy shit talented that it's hard to feel, you know, especially aggrieved for being as privileged a person as he is. At least he's put his untold wealth to something really cool and something nobody else was doing. High quality stop animated 3D stuff, at least in America. Sorry to Wallace and Gromit peeps. Tamia also recommends Hotel Transylvania, the very popular Adam Sandler spooky franchise. Very Addams Family reminiscent. Never seen any of them. A lot of them are beloved. I think it's the most recent one is, well, maybe Splatoon is not meant to be right now. Let's give this another try. Tamia does, yes, more Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline talk. And Tamia says that Coraline is way more scary than Nightmare Before Christmas. Totally agreed. Coraline is legitimately scary, not just for a kid's movie. So is Paranorman, for that fact. Paranorman is like a way better movie than people give it credit for. I didn't see it until a couple years ago, and I was blown away by how cool it was. That studio makes great stuff. The director, again, the Nike dude, he took a break from making all of these awesome stop motion animated things to make one blockbuster, one big old Hollywood honkin' blockbuster, and he made the, you know, according to the fans of this franchise, he made the good Transformers movie. He made Bumblebee. It's the same guy who made Coraline and Paranorman and Kubo. I didn't even know there was somebody there. I thought we were about to be in store for the future the shit map thing I was just talking about. I thought we were gonna get trapped in there, but I think we pulled it out. And now we got the middle. But if we hadn't snuck out right then, I think we would have been facing a slaughter. Buttholes. Oh man, I am so sorry. I'm also way behind on chat. My bad. Let's say we're gonna take ourselves a quick break after this one. We'll do a bag. I think a dab is a little much. There we go. We got two of them there. Missed him 3 times. I still put an end to that reign of terror, though. Finally, got you, buddy. Been fun messing around for a while, though. That's for sure. I can't believe I bungled that. Good luck, guys. It's all up to you, for sure. Sorry, I beefed it first. Oh my god, I'm playing with beef. It's not just... It's what's for dinner? Is that what beef's slogan was? What kind of fucking slogan is it's what's for dinner? I guess milk beat them to the obvious one. But I really think it would have been better if they had got. How much better of a slogan would it be? Got beef. Yes, I do, asshole. I'm sorry. All right, I promised a break and a... That was nice. That was a nice comeback. Great job, blue team. Let's hit this stop. I need to swap out my gear anyways, so it's a perfect time for a bag. Beef and OJ, I'm sorry to leave you guys. You were wonderful teammates. Let's hit the button. There we go. And let's catch up on chat real quick. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Chill. I super appreciate it. This next bag will be for you. I hope you're still out here hanging out with us. Riri says that they love Paranorman. Truly. Well, of course, Riri, you're a person of excellent taste. Of course you would love Paranorman. I had no idea it was good as it was. I kind of watched it on a total whim. My wife just started playing it, and it absorbed me immediately. And for the next 100 minutes or whatever, very cool movie, and way more intense than you would expect. Cool. That was it. I'm all caught up. Beautiful. Excellent suggestion for the chat break. Let's go do this bag break. This one's for you, Dr. Chill. I think that's going to do it for our oven. And while that's going, different horror movie recommendation. This one's definitely been a cherry on top. Probably maybe even mentioned on chat. We've talked about scary movies, which of course we have in the past. One of my favorite horror movies, bar none, from the past, I don't know, decade or so, is a movie called The Invitation. It is about a man who gets an invitation to a dinner party at the house of his ex-wife, who is now living with a new husband, and he has a new girlfriend, and it's a big, giant dinner party, and a lot of interesting, weird, unexpected things happen. It's one of these recommendations where that's it. That's all I really want to say, because it's not super gory, but it is not devoid of blood, but it is not intensely gory, if that is something you're afraid of. But it is pretty scary, but not the scariest movie ever made. But even with all that being said, still one of my favorite horror movies just ever. It's called The Invitation, directed by Karen Kasama. Check it out if you have any love for the genre, especially for some of the more slow burny stuff. It isn't an immediate everybody's dead slasher movie, but it builds. It builds and builds and builds. The Invitation, check it out. I think it's streaming on something, probably. BBD says there are two invitations, and you kind of look like the one from that movie. You are not the first person to say that I look like Logan Marshall Green from The Invitation, the star. He was also in Looking Very Different, a way less good horror movie, Prometheus, the 5th Aliens movie release. No, the 7th Alien movie released, but the first chronologically. What am I doing? I'm playing Splatoon. That's what I'm here for. Let me switch back over to the games cam like I know how to do. Look at me, professional. Let's hop back into a regular battle. My voice is given out. Did a lot of streaming yesterday. And also was on the phone a lot yesterday. So really had to work those voice muscles. So I'm sorry if I'm starting to go hoarse. Hoarse may be my voice, but my spirit is still strong. That didn't really pan out the way I thought. I'm never going to be able to deliver an inspirational speech. And I'm just going to be okay with that. We're playing against Kafka. How cool is that? And how appropriate as we change from squid people to just squid. It's like a metamorphosis, we might say. How effing absurd. Oh, butthole. The aforementioned Logan Marshall Green, who you think is terrible from the movie Prometheus, because he's terrible in Prometheus, but it doesn't seem like it's his fault. Oh, sick. He is also in another interesting, pretty good horror movie from not too long ago called Upgrade, where he becomes like a human cyber warrior. It's actually pretty good. It sounds terrible, and it does have a pretty bad premise, but it goes very interesting places with it. It is a movie if you're very bored on an afternoon to check out. Upgrade. Not as good as the other stuff we've been. But we've been talking Logan Marshall Green, and you know, when you get the chance to gab about LMG, boy, you take that opportunity. I guess. Or his agent would really like this too. Some juicy stuff over here. And we wiped him out again. And again. Oh, did they have... Oh no. I think they have 2 people that quit. That must be it. Poor guys. I think that's probably going to be the lowest number I've ever seen. I think that right half of that bar, yep, 12%, that's as low as I've ever seen it go. That's misspelling your name on the SAT low. Oh, BBD, yes. I think you puzzled it out while I was playing. That is who Logan Marshall Green was. And yes, upgrade a sad ending movie. Here, I'll give you a really recommendation that is way grislier. This one's right on the cusp of my like level of comfortable of body horror, which is appropriate because it's from the son of body horror director, maybe progenitor, the founder. What is the word I'm looking for? The starter of the genre of body horror and movies, David Cronenberg. Well, his son, speaking of nepotism and people's sons making movies, his son now makes horror movies. His name's Brandon Cronenberg, and he made a very fucked up horror movie from a couple of years ago called Possessor. And it is unbelievably graphic. And stars a guy. I felt like just jumping in the water at that point was going to lead to the better outcome. There were 3 of them shooting at me. It was I wasn't going to give them the satisfaction. It's not that I fucked up that jump. That was an intentional choice, I promise. I would never miss a jump that easy. That was an honorable decision and not a mistake. Whoa! There's a lucky Trizook. Movie, Possessor. Check it out. Brandon Cronenberg. David Cronenberg's son. A movie about people who can take over people's minds. And then they kill people. So assassins that hijack into people's brains, and then they use somebody to assassinate somebody, and then they kill themselves. It's super fucked up. It's a crazy premise. One of the... Man, I wish I knew his name off the top of my head. A dude, an actor who I assume is going to have to be going places, man. In the movie Possessor and this other movie, this will be a spoiler for a future cherry on top of mine, that I just watched very recently called On the Count of Three, and it is the new best movie about, the new greatest comedy about suicide, replacing Leaving Las Vegas, which I think is a comedy. And the movie's called 3, 2, 1. It's about, oh my god, no! Oh, hell yes. About 2 friends that decide to take their own lives at the same time, hence On the Count of 3, in their last day on Earth before they do it. The guy who stars in that movie, it is one of the best performances I've seen this year. I hope that movie actually came out this year. I wish I could remember his name. But he is excellent. You should check out the movie Possessor. And if you're still in a mood to be very depressed, but also laugh, check out On the Count of 3. This is a movie directed by a stand-up comedian, a guy by the name of Gerard Carmichael, an incredibly talented stand-up comedian. It's his first movie he's ever directed, and it is, I think, a underappreciated gem for sure. And he is also one of the 2 friends who is pledging to kill themselves. It doesn't seem like a premise for a rollicking comedy, but check it out. All right, I've kind of lost the thread here. We're talking about movies so dark and grim that I really hesitate to recommend them so freely. So let's move on to something a little bit more less bleak for our, well, bum. You know what? Maybe we'll use that as our excuse, guys. Seems like they're having some server troubles. Excuse me. My voice is having some issues. What we'll do is we will do one final, tiny, small, little dab before we say goodbye for the afternoon. Sorry for cutting it off a little bit shorter than I wanted, but my voice will thank me. I think you'll thank me. But let's go do a dab. And if anybody has anything fun they want to bring up, talk about, discuss before we wrap up, let us know. Otherwise, we're talking bunnies and cotton candy. So let's switch over cams here. Let's go do that final dab. And let's talk bunnies and cotton candy. I'm going to take that up. Cotton candy. Excellent. Love cotton candy. I don't know. What is the flavor of cotton candy? I don't know, but I love it. I'm not a huge ice cream fan. Like, I like it on occasion for sure. But I'm not like a person who seeks it out. And I almost never am able, my eyes are bigger than my stomach with ice cream. And I almost never am able to eat whatever it is I've ordered. One exception, and I just had it again after years of not trying it recently. That is Brewster's Cotton Candy Explosion ice cream. I can't explain why it would be good, because cotton candy doesn't really have much of a flavor other than sweet. But man, is it excellent in ice cream form. If you've never had cotton candy ice cream, do yourself a favor and a flavor. Check it out. But I don't know what the what is there? Is it just sugar? What is there? Something else I'm tasting in cotton candy? I don't know. If you understand the science of cotton candy, which I think you can get a cotton candy maker for not a lot of money, let us know. I think it's just sugar though. Some food coloring. Bunnies. Bunnies are wonderful. Bunnies are great. We've talked about my chinchilla Ponce, my beloved chinchilla Ponce, several times, including very recently on the stream. He's been dead for like a decade. But, he was the greatest chinchilla ever. Never mentioned that I also had the greatest rabbit ever. A little lionhead bunny. He lived a full life. He was the greatest, kindest bunny who ever lived. Also, he didn't know all three of my dogs, only two of them. His name was Bismarck. Greatest bunny ever. This dab is going to also, in addition to being every wonderful person out here on chat hanging out with us, this one's going to be for Bismarck, the greatest lionhead rabbit. You were the best, man. You and Bismarck were the OGs before they were dogs. Back when I lived in a tiny apartment and you couldn't have dogs, so I had a rabbit and a chinchilla. And that is now mission accomplished. We talked about cotton candy and bunnies. And a bunny named Bismarck. Like, if you've never seen a lionhead rabbit, give it a Google. They're so delightful. They're like 4 pounds. He was also clicker trained. Truly the friendliest rabbit ever. Rabbits are wonderful creatures. So delightful. If you have never had the experience on the opposite side of the size scale of having seen a Flemish giant, you don't need to Google the lionhead bunny. Google the Flemish giant. If you've never seen one before, you will not believe what you're seeing. You will think it's Photoshop and deception. But it's not. They're 30+ pound rabbits out there that people have that are, literally 6 times larger than dog breeds in weight, than many dog breeds. Here we go. Bunnies, cotton candy, and the long deceased Bismarck. Thanks for watching. Well, not you, but you guys. Here's our last app. Delightful. No coughing. Perfect. Well, that was a blast, guys. I had so much fun playing Splatoon with everybody. BBD, thanks so much. Appreciate it, as always, everybody being here. Let's make it again happen real soon. I should hopefully be back tomorrow. No guarantees, but I anticipate it. Anyways, until then,